Oh, wow. I didn't mean to. Good evening. Good afternoon. And good morning and welcome. I did not mean to do that. And I can't end it, start it again because we're live. Welcome to it's a technical issue there, George.
A technical issue. I don't know what went on, but I was thinking it started a bit early. Usually it goes marching on together.
It does, and it just didn't do it for whatever reason. It was me.
Happened,
it was the magic mouse on the Mac.
So
I do apologise.
I would like to say good evening to you, Aaron. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, like wherever you're listening to it. Obviously, Leeds play tonight, Aaron. It's a bit outlandish. It's a bit unheard of this, but Leeds are actually playing in about an hour and 20-odd minutes. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I said to you, didn't I? kind of like to. Yeah, so settle down. Watch the game.
With this one, George, some people, some followers of our show, like to listen to us in their cars on their way to the ground. And
wow, I mean, this is
before they walk down to Ellen Road. So, a good evening to everybody there.
Good evening to everybody. Hopefully, a win tonight. Let's go. Walk down Ellen Road with our voices in your ears. Come on, let's do it. Let's have a win.
That'd be good.
And Jimbo asked a good question, which I did also ask you yesterday about. I thought you would be at the game. You're obviously not at the game. Although, hurry up, mate, if you're going to the game because you'll be.
I could go because we're doing a quick pod before we go. I could easily make it. We will see though, George. If I'm being honest. But
you could just walk out the door and go.
I could do if I'd have to clear it with the missus, but yes, I could do if I wanted to.
Fair enough.
Anyway, let's get straight into it then, George, because we're doing our pod this week on Wednesday. We've also got our all the major features which we have on this show is also going to be on this week as well. So, George, let's get straight into it then. Have you calmed down? That's the question I want to ask, George, because for the many people who don't have access to our WhatsApp group, I just need to explain this gentleman's behaviour on Sunday at around 4:34 p.m. I've never seen a man as ultimately pissed off. I've never seen anything like it. You were wanting Fark out. Good evening to you, Clive, and you were absolutely adamant that he needed to go. We came to 3-2, then it went to 3-3, and you were in another meltdown. You were saying literally in 30 seconds, Leeds scored the winner with Willie Nonto. But have we calmed down since the 4-3 win over Swansea, George, or are you still living?
You know what time I am by now, even not watching the game, just in game on text message. I do get very frustrated. I do get very annoyed. I did at one point ask, accuse you and Lou, of course, of potentially being Swansea City boys. But then I just, yes, of course. I mean, I actually had to go out, Aaron. I had to go out and I missed the last 20 minutes. So Manuel Solomon had just put us 3-2 up, and then I had to go out. And I was following it on my phone, and I thought, please don't go to 3-3. If you go to 3-3, I look at it and it goes 3-3. I'm going to hit the roof, and it did. And then you put a message in, and then I thought, no, this is not good. This is not good at all. And then of course we scored, but I didn't know that. I only knew we'd scored, Aaron, because you put in the group. That was the only reason I knew, because I wasn't watching it at the time. It was the only reason I knew that we'd scored. So, and then I checked it and we'd scored. So yeah, look, I've calmed down. Obviously, it's a few days later. Let me know. Check me at 10:10 or whatever, Aaron, and see how I am. Over this one, I'm sure you'll get a few messages as the night goes on, depending on how the game goes. But
we did say as well, didn't we, George? Over the Christmas period, we will do a a watch-along special, so we get to witness this live. Because I think it would be YouTube brilliant. Us doing a watch-along at some point over the Christmas period. So I mean, we can actually see this live. I think we need the fans, the Clive and the Jimbos of the world will be crying out for your reaction live.
Look, there is on my YouTube video, on my YouTube channel, of course, and there is. I did once settle down and watch a game. It was the Swansea home game last season, and I put my camera on and I thought, I'm going to just see what happens. And it was that mad opening minute where we scored and it was offside, and then they scored. And after that, I just switched it on. But there is a reaction there of mine to that angry reaction of we being offside, and then they went and scored within the first 2 minutes or something. And there is a reaction of me. I am very annoyed. It does happen. I do get frustrated. There are one or two swear words occasionally. But, that is football, isn't it? That's what emotions bring out of you, doesn't it, really?
It is. And what Jimbo just says there, says, please, can you two do a watch along one day? Please, please, please. Jimbo, we will do that just for you over the Christmas period.
Yes,
we'll have a chat and we'll do it over the Christmas period.
Because that would be great, Aaron. I mean, I think, like I've said before, I think the two of us are quite different in terms of how we watch the game. No, I've never watched the game. I've never watched a Leeds game with you, mate. But I do. I feel like
I do when I watch your WhatsApps flying in.
Well, there you go. So I think we are maybe opposite ends of the scale to how we watch Leeds United. I think you're quite calm. Maybe I'm quite aggressive and frustrated. Even at times it might even actually be 1-0 or 1-1. It might not even be a nil. It might be a 0-0 game, and I'm still getting irate. But that's I bet people watching are like that. I mean, let us know in the comments how you watch Leeds, because I am very much a nervous kind of, oh man, shouting at the referee, the players, or whatever. It's quite something.
Well, Clive gets animated, he says there. And who knows, Clive could do one with us. Who knows, with our Christmas specials. Anyway, good evening to Carl. It says, we need a win tonight. I'd take a 4-3 last-minute winner. Why would we want a simple 3-0?
Oh, man, I'll take 3-0 any day of the week.
I'll tell you what, our hearts can't, as Leeds United fans, we can't take it much longer because it's so intense. But George, just give us a quick reflection on the 4-3 win over Swansea, because defensively we were quite woeful. I said this to Jerry, and Jerry was obviously there on the match reaction. We just looked quite defensive. We struggled, didn't we, a little bit? And I think Meslier was a little bit wobbly against Swansea. But it doesn't matter. It's like what the title of the show is: win bad, win ugly. Who cares? It doesn't matter so long as we get 3 points.
And I think at the end of the day, there is that notion of who cares how we win. But in the game, you want to see a well-drilled team, a team that can understand how they're playing and what the coach wants them to do. And for me on Sunday, defensively, it was horrible. I think Meslier, I don't know if he was. Like Jimbo said, I don't think he was at fault. I don't think he was at all. I think it was Pascal, if I'm being honest. I think it was Strout, who otherwise I felt was really, really good, especially in his offensive moves. He set up a couple. Well, he had a hand in a couple of the goals, but it was his fault. He lost the ball on halfway. Look, you just pump it up. It was literally like 10 seconds before the break.
Yeah,
pump it long. You don't need to look for anybody. The referee will blow his whistle. They lost the ball. They went up, then they scored. It took a deflection. Everybody blames Meslier. It wasn't his fault. It just got away. You can see it was always going away from him, regardless of where he was positioned in front of the net. I think it was always going away from him, and unfortunately for us, it just snuck in off the post. But I think we were poor defensively, yes. Otherwise, I think attacking-wise, we were clinical. But what I would say is, we took well advantage, Aaron, of them playing a high line, and I don't know what the heck they were thinking, to be fair, but they were playing so high up. It made for child's play in some ways for Dan James at times.
Yeah, I think Dan James for me was brilliant at the weekend, and I must admit, again, this is, I kind of slated Manor Solomon as well. I think he wasn't effective, but he grew into the game for me. And do you know what? Tanaka as well, again, we've even got features. We know Tanaka time a name after him, because every game he plays, he really, like what we say on the show, he catches our eye. But brilliant, absolutely brilliant play from him. And for me, I think he was the Sky man of the match tonight.
Yeah, I think he was.
He's just, the more I watch him, the more I really think this lad who we've got here is brilliant. And you know what? I think I'm going to say this now, and I'm going to call it out. He is Premier League ready, George, in my opinion.
He probably is. Yeah, he probably is. And like, I think Daniel Farke himself in the pre-match to this game tonight against Luton, he was saying it sounds like he'd heard some criticism of the club in buying Ao Tanaka.
Yeah. Well, George, be honest, we said, who is this kid? We don't know this lad.
Of course.
I'll hold my hands up and say I didn't know much about him. 100%,
no,
yeah, I agree.
I don't think many fans did. And Daniel said himself, didn't he? People were saying, he's not ready. 25-year-old, never played in the top flight. Nobody knew who he was. And now everybody knows who he is. Well, in Leeds United terms, in Championship terms, he's fantastic. And I must admit, I'm looking forward to seeing him own that middle of the pitch tonight again. He'll be superb again. I'm calling it now. I think he will be superb again tonight. He's just, I think you're probably right, Aaron. I think he is Premier League ready, and
What do you like about him, George? Because for me, it's the flair which he brings to a pass, and you just think that isn't possible, but he's got a little X Factor type kind of approach to his play, and he can just make something happen, and he makes his passing and his control is just unbelievable for me. I do think he is this. How he's settled into this squad is brilliant, but I do think he is ready to make that step up. But what do you like about his qualities to the team, Josh? What is it that makes him great?
Well, I think for me, it's the shielding of the ball and just the pure calm on the middle of the pitch. He might be in a defensive position. We've seen him drop into a back three at times. It's just his calmness on the ball.
Yeah,
you feel calm as a supporter, thinking, right, he's got it. We're fine. He's gonna protect the ball and then look for a smart pass out. I feel like just his protection of the ball, the way he protects it, and then his just distribution, like you said, Aaron. He can pick a forward pass. He can just do the sideways when needed. He just seems quite an intelligent player, to be fair, and he does seem a cut above this level, probably. And we're quite lucky to have a player like that, who many people wouldn't have even said would start when he first came in. I think there's no issue on that now. You ask any supporter, they'll say he might even be the first name on the team sheet. You know what I mean? And that's credit to him, because he's come in different countries, never obviously played in England before. He's settled in. He's had to play with Rothwell, who the both of them together.
They complement each other really well as well.
They really do. This is what I mean. Tanaka drops deep, Rothwell will go, then vice versa, and it's just they've got this sort of thing between them. Like, you drop, I'll go. Now you drop back, and I'll go. And it's just a kind of it's just tidy, isn't it? It's just tidy football. They're not doing anything outlandish and spectacular. It's just very, very tidy, middle of the pitch, midfield play, and it's just very nice to watch. He's just shielding the ball. It's just like he's got 2 or 3 opposition players around him, and he's just twisting and turning. Then he's looking up and finding a pass, and it just seems effortless. And I'm waiting for him to score a goal. We're all waiting for him to score a goal, because people will be excited. People will be excited, and that will be nice. But it is a question. I know Alfie was saying about needing defensive options last night, but I disagree with him. I don't think we do really. I'm talking about it when Ethan and Ilya Gruev are back. He slots in instead of Gruev for me, and I think then you get Ampadu and Tanaka as the first choice midfield. I don't know what you think, Aaron, but for me, I just want to touch on the comments, because we've got a couple of comments coming in about Tanaka. Carl says Tanaka has been a huge positive surprise. What a player! His energy and how he moves the ball is above
this level. And Clive says, for me, he's so damn calm on the ball.
I agree.
Also, Messi made 3 total interceptions last match. It's fantastic. And he further goes on to say that he loves how Japanese and South Korean players play. But for me, George, I agree with you. I think defensively, I think our players' quality is a lot better. I think defensively, I think we're stronger this year. And I'm a big fan of Liam Cooper, and obviously he's now gone, and we've got Rodon and Strauch, who I think their partnership, if you look at the Swansea game, I think, it was a little bit shaky, both of them, but I think, with Wober as well, I think Wober needs to come back in now at left back, and he needs a run as well, if I'm being honest.
Well, yeah, look, you've got Wober, you've got Gulivogi, who can also play at the centre back if you need to. To defensive, I think we're okay.
As well. Anthony's going to be back in January. It's next month.
Look, we've not done too bad, have we? No. We've not done. Everybody panicked when he went injured. Excuse me. We've not done too bad since. And look, we're sitting 4th. If we win tonight, we go top again. I am obviously frustrated, and yet there is this sort of narrative. I do want the money, I know what that, but as it goes on, you that is in the background because we're winning games of football. As long as we win games of football, that's fine. I don't need to call the manager out. Sometimes you do question the way the team are playing, and I think Sunday was one of them. We were happy we won, delighted in the way it came about after going to 3-3 so late on. But you did still, I think you are still allowed to question the team. Wait, we didn't play too well there.
Genuinely, speaking to Jerry, though, I don't think the weather helped. I know that some Leeds fans had to pretty much swim back.
Yeah, look like it.
And we've all seen the clips online of the coaches and things going down, and horrendous. And Jerry said it was horrendous conditions. But the pitch, again, I think Leeds played to their strengths with that, with Dan James, who was with that pace, and there's so much water on that pitch. It slowed it down, and I don't think that the pitch helped, if I'm being honest, with the conditions. But ultimately, who cares?
That's at the end of the day, and that's it. We got away from it with.
And like we've always said, I'm sorry to interrupt again, but as we always say, and I need to say this, you have to go to places like Swansea and win, no matter how bad or how ugly or how well. You've just got to return with 3 points.
Yeah, you do. And that's what we did. Ultimately, like I said, it's another one ticked off the list. Who cares? Ultimately, it's 3 points in the bag. We won. The positive was we scored 4 as well. They were both counter-attacking nice goals, all quite similar. And Solomon with his 2 goals. James had a fabulous game. He would have got the hat-trick of assists. Would it being the own goal doesn't count as anything, does it? But he did set up that as well. That was his cross that led to that. He had a smashing game. There was positives, obviously, other than the scoreline. I was delighted for Manor Solomon because a lot of people were digging him out before the game. And, during that opening sort of 15, 20 minutes before he scored. So that'll do him the best of good. We'll find out the team in a few minutes, Arron, whether he will play or whether Daniel's gone for Nonto from the start. We'll wait and see. But it's because of the workload. This is why he's changing the team around, other than nothing, isn't it? Because of the workload. It's not because anybody's playing badly. It's just because of the workload. And, we'll wait to see in a few minutes, like I said, who's going to play. But I expect maybe Nonto to come in maybe somewhere. But then you think, well, Dan and Solomon had such a good game on Sunday. How can you drop either of those 2 lads? So be interested to see what he does,
Okay. Well, in the lead up to that, I think we need to do this thing, Georgie boy. Let's do Tanaka time. Tanaka time. That's our little feature for the man himself, Tanaka time. And don't forget, if you want to put anything in Tanaka time, you can do. Get involved in the comments. George, what's caught your eye other than Ao Tanaka, who always does? What's caught your eye this week in the world of Leeds or the wider world in the news, or whatever you want to say? Bring it to the table.
Well, as you know, Arron, I do like to keep it Leeds United based.
You do.
And Ao does always catch my eye. I'm sure he will again tonight, like we said. But today I'm going with that man who we know was in the news a couple of weeks ago for doing something he shouldn't have been doing, but he's now done something he shouldn't be doing again. The man in question is Mr. David Coop. Did I get in front of you for that, Arron? Did I?
I've got another one, George.
Fair play, but
tell us about this one.
You were going to speak about this one as well. But I didn't know that. So there you go. So Mr. David Coote obviously was, doing some of the things he shouldn't be doing a few weeks ago. It's come out now that he has been potentially match fixing, Aaron, and it comes to light in a Leeds United way where a few years ago, we're talking about 5 years ago now, aren't we? October the 1st, 2019, he booked Ijan Alioski. I think Alioski actually scored in this game as well. It was a 1-0 win over West Bromwich Albion at Ellen Road. David Coote was the ref, and he then messaged one of his pals allegedly saying after the game, "I hope you backed us as we discussed," meaning, did you better have, gone and backed him to get booked because I'd done what you said, basically. It's all about match fixing. It's all about, naughty behaviour with the referees. And what I want to have with you and the people watching, Aaron, is a little discussion, probably not normally about David Coote, because that's just the headline, that's just the topic. But what about the officiating for a short time in the Championship currently? And we have I think it's Mr. Sam Allison in charge tonight for the game at Ellen Road. Hopefully they'll have a good game. But what do you think of the current EFL and the Championship refereeing situation?
Absolutely diabolical. It's a joke, if I'm being honest. The officiating that I've seen at Ellen Road this season is beyond par. There's no other word for it. It is beyond par. I don't know if the referees which come up, I don't know if they can handle the occasion of being in front of a very hostile crowd. I don't know if if they're too reliant on VAR, because I know we've had a couple of Premier League referees officiate at Ellen Road this season. I don't know if they're too, reliant on that, or speaking to somebody, is it Stockley Park, whatever it's called?
Yes,
whatever it's called. Because wherever Stockley Park, whatever it's called, the VAR kind of base there. I don't know. I genuinely do think the standard of officiating has got worse, and I don't know. I think it's the modern game, isn't it? Where what we're seeing these days, and for me, it's poor. I don't know. What do you think, George? Do you think it's
it's horrendous. I mean, look at the guy on Sunday. I don't know who it was off the top of my head. I don't think I'd seen him many times actually, but he was awful. For both teams. He was just awful. I mean, you think, how on earth can he get that so wrong? I know we watch the game. We're not referees, but we know what's a tackle, what's not. It's different when you're there. There is pressure going on, but you've got to do your job. And for me, the refereeing has been, on the whole, very, very poor.
What gets me though, George, is that the referee at Ellen Road has two, linesmen. They don't talk, but they do have all the mics. They're all geared up, all the mics and stuff. But you can clearly see they don't communicate with each other. The fourth official just loses it. I've seen managers at Ellen Road who are not playing by all, literally shouting and bawling at fourth officials. Use your cards, use them, because if it was the other way around, Leeds would be getting booked with Daniel Farke or the coaching team. I just don't think he's got any amount of control over. The referees have got no control over the game whatsoever. Time wasting. Well, that's the worst bit.
Yeah, it is like old school refereeing. It is like the referee holds all the cards literally, and he is the only eyes on the pitch basically that are able to communicate basically on basic situations. He is the man that is solely making these decisions, and if he doesn't see it, he doesn't see it. And like you said, there doesn't seem a great deal of communication between the fourth officials, the linesmen, and things. It just seems very, very substandard, quite amateur. It is. That's it. Well, it's just the man in the middle who's making the decisions. Whereas Premier League get all the VAR, be it good or bad. That's not the debate.
I do think, hopefully Leeds won't be in the Championship when this happens, but I can see VAR coming into the Championship within the next 5 years.
It will.
It naturally has to, but I actually do think it needs to come into the Championship because of the level of inconsistency between referees. And also, because today's a big game for Leeds, against Luton. If we win, as you say, we go top and we can get a bit of a 2-point cushion. But these are kind of, especially at this stage of the season, where we can get a bit of a cushion and build on something. You need we need that little bit of, cushion in it. But what I'm trying to say is the officiating is poor. They need to do a lot more work on it, but I can't see them fixing it straight away. I think the only solution for me with Championship officiating is VAR.
Well, it has to be eventually, doesn't it? If that's the way they're going as a officiating
just
body.
As a point, though, just as a point to stop the nonsense which players, which teams come to or do. Having another set of eyes, whether it be wherever, looking over it and going, hang on, what the hell is going on?
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, Luton will be the same again today, Aaron. Luton will be the same again tonight. There'll be time wasted. They'll pick in the moments to go forward, and that's the way it is. I mean, and there's a lot of time wasted. There's a lot of silly little fouls going on. The officiating is just generally not very good. Now, I know there's loads of comments coming in, but I know that there is a referee that I know, and he's a Premier League referee now, and it's amazing. He refereed the game at St Mary's on Sunday between Southampton and Liverpool. I went to school with him, and I played tennis with him and all sorts, and it's amazing to see him.
Did he play football? George?
Yeah, he played football. Yeah,
Did he play at a high level though?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
that's the issue I think with refereeing in this country. Yeah. Is that the referees don't read the game well. Yes, they can clearly give out the laws of the land, etc. But you've got to have an understanding of how the game works. So I think what Jimbo said there says ex-players should referee. Although it would have been if Fat Frank was could never win. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's poor. Can I give you my Tanaka time, George?
Yes, of course, Aaron.
And I actually have two Tanaka times to put in the bin. The first one is Mr. Radrazani, so both Leeds based. Andrea Radrazani is getting his beak out again and clearly having too many red wines in Italy, getting involved, talking about Leeds. Literally, what he was saying, it was just absolute nonsense what he was saying about Leeds, saying, oh, it was on my foot road, it's keep balls, so blah, 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 blah. What a prick. Just, do you know what? You can't say anything else now. Stop trying to get involved with the club. You've got your Sampdoria, whatever it's called in Italy. Go focus on them and stop bringing up things in the past.
Yeah, like you said, Aaron, I think it's a good one, actually, that, to be fair. He's actually just had too many, like you said, we all know when he was...
Can I read the tweet, just because it really annoys me? It says, I hear you all, full stop. Since June 2023, I've been criticised, abused, and insulted anytime I say a word about anything. Nobody cares, pal. Nobody's bothered about you. You've gone. You haven't even been here. When did he go? Last year, whenever? It doesn't change that we, management and all club employees, invested, transformed, modernised the club, and finally achieved historical promotion after 17 years, thanks to MB. But listen, Radrazani, it wasn't you who got the club up. The club was in 13th, 14th position in the Championship. There's only one man who got us up into the Premier League. Not you, not Victor Orta. It was Marcelo Bielsa. So do you know what, Radrazani? You should be saying not just that you've been criticised. You should be absolutely singing the praises of Bielsa. And that's what's annoying.
Yeah, it's just a little bit... like I said, any opportunity to bring up Leeds United, he's straight in there. And you just think he's probably still... Yeah, exactly. You were a footnote in the history of Leeds United. You're no longer there. You don't need to be relevant to the fans. We really shouldn't be talking about him today, Aaron, but because he's come up and done this is why we are. But by rights, we shouldn't be, because he's the history now. And we don't need to be speaking about that. We're speaking about here and now, but he just can't seem to let it go.
He can't help himself. Victor did it, didn't he, a couple of weeks ago?
Victor did it, yeah. I mean, I had him on last week as my Tanaka time, didn't I? Yeah. Talking about Gyökeres and how he turned him down of that cut price, fee. So he turned that down. And again, they always like to have Leeds United in the mouth because they know they're no longer relevant otherwise. Because nobody cares about him in Sampdoria or Victor Orta in Sevilla. It's all about Leeds United and how can I get my name back in there in the English in the English public eye, oh, let's talk about Leeds and let's talk about, and him, he loves Twitter, doesn't he? He loves it. He loves it.
He's clearly had too many red wines, but listen, Radrazani, listen, nobody cares. Does anybody care what he has to say? The thing is, he's invited. The funny thing is, because I was reading some of the comments, I actually commented to him saying, "How dare you?" Blah 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 blah. But how dare you? I said, he was calling out for more abuse. Do you know what I mean? Don't say that. Just shut up, crack on, and enjoy Italy, pal. Just enjoy it.
Just get on with it. It happened. It was a history. It was a part of his life as well for a time, obviously. But just forget about it. And to be fair, having dug him out there, I wouldn't mind sitting and talking to him about it. But you know what I mean? That would be fascinating. But just odd tweets and things like this, not relevant stuff, just leave it behind. Leave it behind. I wish the club well. I'm sure he does deep down, really, and just have done with it. He's in Italy. Focus on Sampdoria, who I don't really know what they're doing.
They're not doing very well. I had a look on Wikipedia. They're not doing very well.
And Ronaldo Vieira's still there, isn't he? But I think the Serie B, aren't they? So I think he just needs to, like I said, butt out a little bit and just get on with his own thing, what he's got going on.
And as Jimbo said, Andrea, if you want,
I'd love to speak to him. To be fair, just to say, look, what went on at Leeds those years and all this.
He'd have to listen to the Wrath of You for an hour.
No, he'd enjoy it. He'd enjoy it. We'd get the views there. Not that it would be any different, but we'd sort it out.
Can I give you my other Tanaka time?
Yes.
Frank Lampard is close to being appointed the new Coventry City manager, which I think is quite funny. So Fat Frank is going to be back in the Championship. And also, just one from Jimbo. His Tanaka time is Gary Speed's 13th anniversary. Rest in peace, Gary Speed. Yeah, absolute club legend. And I'm sure this evening he will get a good kind of applause and things like that. We'll do quite
I'm sure the crowd will be singing his name. The lads hopefully will win the game for him and his memory. Rest in peace to Gary, of course. Comes around this time of year, doesn't it? And very sad, very sad.
Very sad. But rest in peace, Speedo. Right, I think that, George, wraps up today. There we go. It's a bit loud, that, isn't it? But I like it. Right then, George. So Leeds win tonight, and we'll go 2 points clear of third place. I think, is this a must-win game for Leeds against Luton?
Well, I think every game's a must-win game now. I mean, I've seen the team. He's dropped James, hasn't he? For some reason, Willie Nonto's come in. I did say he might start Willie. It might just be rotation, but that is the only one change, isn't it, of the team? So it's otherwise as you were, other than Dan's on the bench. For Willie Nonto. Look, every game's a must-win, isn't it? It's a home game. I'd say we need to win. Yeah, we need to put the pressure back on the teams that got one over on us last night. Obviously, Burnley won. Sunderland got a point, and Sheffield United won, didn't they? So
they did. Yeah,
we need to respond with 3 points. Really, Luton. I mean, I'm just going to see what their team is like, Aaron, but I don't think it's really up to much.
With Luton, I've seen them a few times this season, Luton, George, and I don't think that, I know you're going to disagree with me here, but I don't think their league position is a reality of them as a club. I think they're a lot, they're losing badly. They're just in a poor run of form. I think they've been in a bit of form recently, but I do think with Luton, their league position isn't a true reflection of where they should be. I think they should be in that top 10 for me, should Luton. They're not as bad as everybody's rating out.
Potentially. There's just seemed to be a lot of support for Rob Edwards still from their side of things. Clive is saying keep Carlton Morris quiet. He's starting up front with Jacob Brown. So they're going with a front with a midfield five. So they're going to pack the midfield. I think he likes to play 3-5-2 more often than not. So they will make it hard for us. They've got bits of quality in there. Victor Moses is starting on the right hand side. Amari Bell as well. Marvellous Nakamba. We all know he's marvellous by name, and also by nature. So he's a good player. And, so you've got some good players in there. And, and it will be a tough game, this. But I think, again, every game at Ellen Road, you fancy Leeds, don't you? We will dominate the possession. We will dominate the ball, the chances. Luton will sit deep and try and hit us on a set piece, a counter attack, anything. They do have quality, like I said, in that squad, in that starting 11 tonight. I can close this. Carlton Morris is my particular player that I would like to keep, like Clive, keep him quiet. I think we probably win the game potentially. So, I think Victor Moses is 30. He's only 30, Clive. So I know he seems to have been around a while, but he is only 30.
Yeah.
So, no, sorry, he's 33. He's 33.
It's not that old. Right. Okay. Right, Georgie boy. Let's go for this. Oh, it's your favourite quiz time, George. WTF says, Clive, we've got features now. Where have you been?
Clive has been. Surely he has.
We have Tanaka time and we have the Leeds United trivia quiz where you've got to get 5 out of 5 to say you're a real proper Leeds United fan. So, George, we will start the quiz and it is all about Elland Road this week.
Wow.
So you've got questions about Elland Road. So can you confirm that your comments has been turned off or is hidden?
Yes.
There it is. He's got that. Yes. Get involved, Clive, with the quiz. So George has his comments off, so he can't cheat and he can't Google either. So get involved. Remember, you've got to get 5 out of 5, George. You've been poor the last couple of weeks on the trivia quiz, so let's get started. So question number 1, George. In which year was Elland Road first opened?
Oh, I don't even know that. I don't know. It's not a good start.
Right, don't know. So it's a tricky question, this, and you can't think of 1919. I'll give you a clue.
No, I don't know. It was 1935. I don't know.
No. It's not 1919. It's not. It was. If you look on Wikipedia, I think it used to be a rugby ground before it was Elland Road. So the first year, according to GPT, is 1897. That's when Elland Road was first opened.
Wow.
So, yeah, there you go. It's been around.
Oh, wow. No, didn't know that one.
Yeah, okay. Question number 2. To the nearest 1,000, George, speaking like a teacher now, what is the capacity to the nearest 1,000 at Elland Road as of Wednesday, the 27th of November, 2024?
The nearest capacity?
Yes, the nearest 1,000.
Okay. I think it's 46.
46,000. Do you think 46,000 people go to Elland Road?
What? The capacity of the stadium?
Yeah, so to the nearest 1,000. Okay, so it could be like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, so on. What is to the nearest 1,000? What is the capacity to the nearest 1,000 at Elland Road?
I think that'd be 42,000, is it?
It's not 42,000 to the nearest 1,000, George. You're not doing too well. Clive got it one. It's 37,000.
What? I thought it was bigger than that.
No, Liam, you were just 1,000 out of 36. Yeah, it's 37,000 to the nearest 1,000.
Wow, I thought it was bigger than that, actually.
Yeah, no. Well, hopefully, as what Clive said, 55,000 in the next 5 years, hopefully. But yeah. Okay, right. Question number 3, sorry. Which famous stand at Elland Road is named after a former Leeds United manager?
Don Revie. Yeah. At least I can get that one.
You know that one. Question number 4. We've only got 1 out of 3 so far. So
it's no good, is it?
Question 4. Elland Road hosted which major football tournament in 1996?
That was the Euros.
The Euros, yes, the UEFA European Championship. And then your final ones, you've got 2 out of 4 so far. This to get a bit of 3 out of 5. What is the nickname commonly used to refer to Ellen Road? It's an old school nickname. It's the old school nickname. I'll
The
give you
Peacock
some
Ground.
I've got to accept
The Peacock
what's
Ground.
in front of me.
No, come on, Arron.
I do.
Oh.
I can't accept. It's not. No, it's not church. I wish it was. It is the old Peacock. It's obviously the
Oh,
pub
come on. Close
Go on, I'll
enough.
give you it because it's nearly Christmas. 3 out of 5.
No,
George.
that's a nice gift.
3 out of 5. Well done to everybody who got involved as well. In the quiz, let us know how you got on. You can remove that now, and that concludes your Leeds United Trivia Challenge for this week. Right. Okay, George, give us a prediction then for Luton Town, with Leeds kicking off in about 45 minutes if you're watching us live. And if you'll probably know the score if you're listening again on the pod. So,
Yeah,
George, give us some predictions.
What was the score, everybody watching back? What was the score? Did we win? Who played well? What happened? Did you have a good night? That's the main thing. Did you have a good night? But no, look, Luton Town come to town, don't they? But
Luton Town, the Hatters are in town.
Hatters, wear straw hats and whatnot for that one. I think I don't know. No, we'll win tonight. I think it'll be 2-0.
2-0. Okay.
Yeah.
Any punt at scorers, George, for Leeds?
You know what? I'm going to go with Willie Nonto.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to go with Ramazani. I think that he might come on, have a bit of time on the pitch, and score the goal. If not, maybe your Perot, if he's still on the pitch. I think it'll be we might score first half, 1-0 up first half, and then it might be a bit nervy, and then we might just kill it off with a second goal. But I do think they will come and they will cause issues. But I do, like you said, they're probably better than what they are in the table. I disagree with you, actually. I think they have pockets of quality, but I just don't, for whatever reason, it just hasn't worked for them. Doesn't mean they can't beat us, but yeah, I think we will beat them tonight.
Okay, let's have a look in some of the comments. Clive says 2-0 to Leeds. Liam B says Leeds to win 3-1. Jimbo says 2-1. I don't know where he's got this from, but Melia apparently is going to have a howler, and Tanaka was man of the match.
No, don't say that.
The match. Nah. Do you know what? I think it's going to be a tough one, this George. I think Leeds will scrape this, and it's going to be a 1-0 win for me against Luton. I don't think it's going to be. I think what we need to do is we need to sharpen up at the back. We can't be conceding goals like we did against Swansea. Tighten up at the back and just sneak it. Just a 1-0 or even a 2-0 win would be perfect. But I do think Leeds sneak it 1-0.
We do tend to be a bit more solid at the back at Ellen Road, don't we? I don't know what it is about them, but they do just seem to be that much more switched on at Ellen Road. I don't know whether it's a crowd with the comfortability of playing at Ellen Road. I don't know what it is, but they do generally seem a little less panicked at the back at Ellen Road. It was a bit outlandish the other day, conceding 3, to be fair. Other than that, we've defensively been all right, really.
Yeah. And then as well, George, we have another one to preview because we have the games are coming thick and fast now. Blackburn Rovers away on Saturday, the 30th of November, 1:30 kickoff. George, what do you see is going to happen in that one?
This is a really strange kickoff time. I really don't understand it. Saturday, 1:30. What's that about? But is
it on Sky? Is it on Sky?
It must be. Yeah, it must be. But it's just such a strange kickoff time. I think we'll beat Blackburn as well. They're playing tonight as well, aren't they? I can't remember who they're playing actually, but I think
Blackburn Rovers. Rovers are playing Middlesbrough away.
Right, that's a tough game. So Blackburn they had a postponement, didn't they, on Saturday against Portsmouth?
Sorry, George, just to interrupt it. It's not on Sky, apparently.
No, right, okay. So we're all going to have to find some other way of watching it if you're not there. So there you go.
Some form of well-known shopping websites.
Potentially. But
who knew that LUTV could be shown in this country when they broadcast live in Sudan?
I love LUTV. I must say, I do. I always like watching them. I'm hoping to watch it tonight. I don't know though what kind of stream I'm going to get, so we'll wait and see. But
so go on then, George. Prediction then for the Blackburn game.
I don't know. 5-0.
5-0, bloody hell. 2-0 says Clive. Jimbo says 2-2. Again, I think it's going to be a tough one. I think every away game is going to be tough for Leeds, especially over the festive period. But after that, other than the Middlesbrough game, we've got a good run of games, haven't we, coming up?
Well, unfortunately, Aaron, we've got Preston, haven't we? Just before Christmas this time instead of just after. And
yeah, they after Middlesbrough. So we've got the next couple of games now. We've got the Luton tonight, of course, Blackburn. They've got Derby at home on the 7th of December. Then Middlesbrough, Preston away. Then we play Oxford, who seems to be leaking goals.
Yeah,
right up to Christmas. Then and then Boxing Day we have Stoke away. And
so I think the next five are pretty doable, aren't they, really? I know Middlesbrough will be a difficult game, but other than that, you look at them and 5 or 6 and you're thinking we should be able to get maximum, if not most, of the points out of those games. So let's wait and see. Kick off tonight. Hopefully we get the win.
And if we get the win, George, as we said, we can get a nice 2-point cushion over third place. And yes, 2 points, it's not a lot, but actually at this stage of the season, if you can get that momentum and start building and building and building, you can start building a little bit of a cushion. And I think that's what Leeds need to do now. They need to start cooking. And
2 points is 2 points. 2 points is 2 points, Aaron, isn't it? So, we need to just
we need to stay top of that tree. We need to stay there.
We just need to hit gear now and start ticking these games off. And
like what Jimbo says there, Sunderland plays Sheffield United.
Oh, do they really?
One of them's going to drop points.
Well, I think Sunderland probably will. Even though they're unbeaten in something like 10 games, I think they've drawn about 9 of them.
Yeah, they've drawn a few in the last.
They've drawn a hell of a lot. And so have West Brom. I know West Brom are a bit further back, but they're unbeaten in like 9 games, but they've drawn like 8 of them. It's unbelievable. And a lot of them have been 0-0 as well. It's absolutely unbelievable, really.
It is. Anyway, so George, thank you. Don't forget, guys, George, give us your plug for your channel. I'll let you have it first.
Yes, of course. So the Beard of Peacock, obviously, everybody watching probably knows, but for those people who don't and listening that don't know, I have one of my own, the Beard of Peacock, on YouTube, where I do match previews, match reactions, whatever. Go and check it out, subscribe, follow, whatever you want to do. Also, my Talking Brazil Ball with my brother James. We're talking about Brazilian football, nothing to do with Leeds United, but it's Brazilian football. We're doing another one tomorrow. So watch it, subscribe, whatever you want to do. It's on Spotify, that one as well. So listen in your ears without having to look at me and my brother if you don't want to. So that's it as well. The Brazilian League, just for instance, is coming to an absolute climax soon. There's only a couple of games left. It's getting very exciting. So have a look at that. So, yeah.
If you like a good Brazilian, go and listen to that one. And don't forget, George, it leads us back onto this one. You can catch me and Jerry doing our match reaction tomorrow. So we'll have a match reaction tomorrow against Leeds versus Luton. So we're going to get that one out, and then we'll have one after the Blackburn game as well. So all the football is coming thick and fast, George, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And Jimbo, I can do that. I will do that. I will recommend players to you guys and to Aaron. Brazilian players for January, I will, because there are some good players that I think Leeds United could do even at championship level. It's So I think that
Clive, yes, we do. We do.
It's a live chat. Yeah, it's a live chat. Yeah.
So you can get involved with that. So don't forget. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a share. Grow us. We're not bothered if you want to hit the share and subscribe button on YouTube. It's your choice. We're not going to say subscribe, but please do. It'd be nice if you did. And talk and share us with your friends.
Yeah, exactly. Do it. Grow the channel.
Grow the channel. We want to quit our day jobs and do this full time. Exactly. And we can only do that if you hit that subscribe button.
Exactly. Grow and show the channel.
And you never know, we might be seeing this time next year George Brook on I'm a Celebrity. If GK Barry can do it, this man can do it.
Oh, wow.
I want to see this guy eat a turkey's testicle live on telly. So there you go.
Absolutely.
That's what we want. That's what we want, guys. So yeah, please do give us a like and a share and all that sort of stuff. And you never know, George might be on the jungle next year. If I can do it, he can do it. George, we'll leave that until the next one, and we'll see you on the next one. See you next week, guys.
Let's win tonight, guys. I enjoy it. Let's go.
All together. On to the next one.